Florists, what's the weirdest message you've ever put on a card? I worked at a small flower shop just outside the city for a couple of years. The place wasn't fancy, but we got all sorts of requests, and some of the card messages customers asked for were absolutely wild. Most were the usual happy birthday or get well soon stuff, but then there were the odd ones that stuck with me forever. One afternoon, an older gentleman came in. He looked a little nervous, shifting his weight from one foot to the other, while he stared at the roses behind the counter. After a bit of back and forth, he finally settled on a dozen deep red roses and asked me to write a card for them. I expected something sweet or romantic, but what he said next caught me completely off guard. "Can you write this on the card? Congratulations on not being pregnant." He said it so deadpan that for a second, I wasn't sure if I heard him right. I blinked and repeated it back, just to make sure. He nodded, not cracking a smile. The card was going to be for his wife, apparently. He explained that after they got married, she'd started gaining a bit of weight, nothing crazy, just a few pounds here and there, but it really bothered her. She used to be one of those people who could eat anything and never gain a pound, so the change hit her harder than anyone would have guessed. Then, the clincher. A coworker at her job had asked if she was pregnant one day. She wasn't, and she was having a really bad day already, so the question was like a sucker punch. That comment lingered in her mind, made her feel worse about herself, and he wanted to cheer her up with something funny and unexpected. I wrote the message on the card exactly as he asked, trying not to laugh. The guy paid, thanked me quietly, and left without another word. A couple of days later, he came back to the shop. He said she loved the flowers, but more than that, the card made her smile when nothing else could. Apparently, it broke through her bad mood in a way a typical "you're beautiful" card never would have. She even kept the card for weeks. That one stuck with me because it wasn't your usual flowery sentiment. It was honest, weird, and perfect for the situation. It showed how sometimes people use humor to cope with the things that hit them hardest. Over the years working there, I got a lot of strange requests for card messages. Some hilarious, some sad, some downright bizarre. But this was by far the weirdest and yet most touching one I've ever put on a card. It reminded me that behind every bouquet, there's a story, sometimes complicated and raw, and sometimes just really weird.